Joke's on you, bastards.
You dare to hold your knife to an engine? You must be king and your name must be Simba. I'm so high.
What the fuck is up? Higher point of view here to discuss this little brawl that happened last night. Lakers brawl versus the Rockets. But first I'm gonna talk about both of the games. We 0-2 right now. I'm cool with it. First of all, number one, against Portland, this was the third seed of last year. So they're not a slouch. To be third in the West, you gotta be very good. And this is a team that's been playing together for years. So you'd expect them to win a game at home, opening game at home. And they're actually 16-0 the last 16 years in opening games at home. So not only was that against us, their owner just died. So of course they're going to come out and play a hard game for him. And that was a given. They're going to win that game. Plus this is a new Laker team, obviously. So we'll give them that one. All I cared about was it being competitive, which it was, and us having a chance to win the game, which I think we did. So X that game. Then the next game against Houston. This was the number one seed last year. They made the Western Conference Finals last year. They're supposed to make the Western Conference Finals this year and potentially challenge Golden State again, which they won't. But so this is this is a team who've been playing together for a couple years too. Not minor changes, a few changes this year, but the starting lineup is almost the same, and they know each other. They've been playing with each other for a while, so we got that. To play a close competitive game with them and to compete with them at that level, it was 108 to like 109 before this whole fight happened. It was close, and I'll take that. To compete with these teams this early, the third seed and the first seed from last year, and to lose by a few points, or to know that we were in the game and just a few things could have helped. The Portland game, there was a couple of turnovers that happened, and of course the missed shots, the missed, from long range. If we would have made half of those we missed, we would have been fine. So we got that. LeBron made a couple turnovers, that's fine. The next game, the Houston game, it all melted down after the fight, so that was fine, but we were in that game too. This is the third and the first seed from last year. We started off with them. We got San Antonio coming too, so I really like how this is it. We getting challenged early. I think that's good for the team because we're only going to get better earlier. It's not making sense to beat on teams that we're already better than. That'll come later on in the year when we see Phoenix and these other teams. But right now, to start off this tough, I like it. We're on the XJ13 right now. So that's that. And let me just talk about LeBron real quick. Maybe we could have won this game, or even the Portland game if he was more aggressive. But I think this is by design. Again, let's all remember that this is going to take some time, and we've already established that. They've already said it. Pelinka said it, Magic said it, LeBron said it. It's going to take some time. So I didn't expect to see LeBron come out and just take over. We know he can do that. What he's trying to do now is, first of all, find out who his dogs are, who's going to be there for him. And then he has to find out, he has to let them know off the top, like, listen, y'all gonna have to help me. I can't. We all know what he could do. He could take over games and carry the whole team as he did with Cleveland last year. But I think right now he's figuring out who his dogs are, and he's figuring out, he wants this team to figure out how to win without him having to take over the game. So you can do that earlier on in the year, and you're playing against elite teams this early. I think this is a good strategy. These are games you probably would have lost anyway if LeBron would have went all out, just because. That's just, what happens when the other team is better. They're better teams at this point. But, I think he dialed it back a little bit just to see who's going to step up, number one, and who wants it, if they have it in their eyes. And, I think it's proven who stepped up so far. Josh Hart, I think he should be put in the starting lineup pretty soon. And I also think that Kuzma should be starting. But now it kind of worked in our favor because there will be suspensions. You will see Kuz in the starting lineup, so we're going to see how that looks. But let's get into this video. as I break this down for y'all. Now, it's not all one person's fault. You can't blame one person. Everybody had something to do with this. And when a big melee happens, it's all moving parts, you know. So you gotta hold everybody accountable for what happened at the end. Everybody's responsible for it. But let's point out all the faults right now. So we're gonna start off here. This is the play that did it, the frustration play that did it. So we're gonna stop right here. James Harden, he's infamous for like it's two of his moves that me personally, I'm like, man, that shouldn't be able to happen. It's one, this play that happened right here, and then another one is the step back, which is totally a travel. And you know, if he does it in one motion, I guess, but you can't do that in pass or some other shit. But yeah, it's a travel. There's even a video, this is well known. There's even a video that you know, Russell Westbrook is basically showing Harden how he does a step back, and he's just exaggerating, but basically saying, nigga, you be traveling. So you got that step back, but that's not what happened here. This one is when Harden actually, he leads the league all the time, and he's definitely top 5 in going to the free throw line because he draws a lot of fouls, because he has this one technique where he draws a defender in him, and he pulls the defender into him and then pushes him away as if the defender hit him. You know, kind of like what receivers do to corners a lot. And you see the corner flying back, and then the corner gets called for a penalty. The receiver initiates contact, but then he pushes off like it was the corner who did it. So that's what Harden does. He basically gets your arm and wraps it in his, and then he just, I don't even know if he's going for a shot at the time. Most times he isn't, but this time it happens to go in. So that's what happened. But the difference here is you see who did it, and the call was wrong, because right here you see Ingram is flying back. There's no way that Ingram could have fouled him if he's flying back and Harden's going forward. So you got that one wrong. And that's where the frustration came in from Ingram. So this happens.
No basket.
Now, Ingram's already frustrated from the wrong call. First of all, this nigga came and he pushed me, offensive foul. And then let's talk about this too. I seen it the whole game. They were being really, really physical with Ingram. Melo and Chris Paul, they were kind of bully balling him, you know. Basically what Chris Paul was doing to Steph in the Western Finals, which is cool, you know. But again, they were doing it all game to Ingram, and basically even at certain hand placements I seen, like they'll put their hand on his hip, but you know, they really was just moving him around. So, you know, he was feeling that all game, and then he gets this bad call against him, which shouldn't have been called. So and then now also the extra frustration coming in. Harden made the shot, and you got two of his teammates vouching like, oh no, that's an and one too. You know, that's an and one. So you got them all barking, and there's three Rockets barking at the same time at the ref, and a bad call against Ingram. So this is all the frustration that's coming from him. And what comes next?
But a foul on Ingram.
He pushes Harden. Should he have done that? No, probably not. But again, if this just happened and that was it, this wouldn't be a suspension. It'll probably be a flagrant. And if that, this might have just been, you know, okay, whatever. But it escalated. That's why, you know, Ingram's suspension, clearly what he does after too, is gonna, you know, we'll see what happens with him. But listen here. Now look at Melo here. Melo's always hovering around Ingram this whole time. He's kind of acting like he's innocent, but he's not. We'll get on to that later. But Harden's acting like he don't know what's going on. Bro, you know that. You know what you do there, but that's fine. And now
two face to face. No, look out! Rondo and Chris Paul, and they're throwing punches.
There's going to be the director of
the neighborhood nip in the background.
Keeping Vandaway is about 10 rows up, so he's got.
See, look at Melo. Bro, why are you still following him? He has two officials and a teammate backing it up. Why you keep trying to come to him? And Ingram at this point, he's ignoring him the whole time. He's like, whatever. But then there's going to be a certain point where Ingram just tells Melo, like, nigga, what you gonna do? that's the part right here. Melo's like, what? He said, yeah, what you gonna do? He gonna tell him right now, like, nigga, come on, what's good? Bring it on. He gonna say something. Yeah, come on. You see? Everybody, oh, I'm good. And then now right here,
in the NBA, but this
Chris Paul comes to the sidelines talking about he spit on me. So now he's using this as a reason of why he did what he did. Okay, firstly, I didn't see any spit at all. So, but what I did think happened, there was this other time where Rondo got into it with Draymond, and they were so close to each other and talking at the same time that you seen some spit coming out. So I think this is what happened. That happened. Rondo was talking a little bit, and probably a little bit of spit got on Chris Paul. And he knew he had to wipe it, but since he knew he had to wipe it, that means that some spit got on him. So he used that as an excuse, like, you know what? This nigga spit on me. And I think you could even see in the video, he said, nigga, don't you ever spit on my face again. He said something like that, don't you ever spit in my face again. But bro, it wasn't a blatant spit. It wasn't like a Bill Romanowski or a Sean Taylor spit. Rest in peace, Sean Taylor. So yeah, he's coming playing the victim, saying he spit on me. That's why I did what I did. We didn't see the spit. What I think Chris Paul was hoping for was that, okay, I'm going to use this excuse that he spit on me. I'm going to punk him by saying, nigga, don't you ever spit on me again. Do the finger thing in the face. Somebody will break it up. I'll look like a G. That didn't happen. Rondo came with a left, clocked him. Landed a solid hit. Paul recovered pretty well. I don't know if he seen that punch coming. He didn't. I don't know if he was hoping somebody broke it up, but he didn't see the punch coming. Got hit with it, looked a little surprised, but he came back with a two-piece. He got him. But Rondo, I give him that first connection with the left, and he also got him with a little elbow. Y'all can see he gonna get him with a little elbow. So we give Rondo the left and the elbow, but then you gotta give Chris Paul the two-piece. Paul won, but just by a little bit. If you had to guard, if you had to grade, you know, if you had to judge the round, I think it'd be 10-9. Chris Paul on that one. But you know, Rondo didn't back down at all. It wasn't nothing he should be ashamed of. And again, these is two alpha dogs, and they don't like each other anyway. What's good with Chris Paul coming to LA? Every time he come here, he get in a fight. Got in a fight last year with the Clippers.
Might have instigated with Rondo.
Melo's still running his mouth.
Look at it, we'll get a chance. When everything calms down, you can be the decision maker. We haven't seen the replay either.
But again, there should be many camera views and angles to show that Rondo, he did not blatantly spit on Chris Paul, so he's gonna have to forget about that excuse. But
well, I believe Rondo and Chris
Rondo
Paul
did a little bit of instigating, as you'll see coming up.
For about 2 minutes already.
Because he came up and stood right in front of Chris Paul, and basically he just was standing in his space and letting him know he was there.
He get a chance to look at it. That's where action was actually started. And then after that, everything went the wrong direction.
Something got Carmelo fired up. He was going after Ingram.
See, there's the
that was
foul.
an offensive foul.
As Brandon
Brought him
felt
into
that
him
he
and
was
he
run
pushed
into,
him.
so he's going over toward.
And that's what Rondo was saying.
Pushes,
But look how Rondo now, look how he just gets into Chris Paul's face. This was started. He didn't do anything, but look. He just got in his face. And Paul, it kind of looks like at some point, Paul like, nigga, who are you? Rondo like, nigga, I ain't getting out your face. And then that's probably when the spit came out. See? Paul like, I ain't going nowhere. But that finger shit, that's too far. You can't do that. You can't do that and expect not to get swung on.
Right. So
or at least shove like a motherfucker, but no.
Instigated it. Obviously,
so I say he wrong on that part for getting physical.
Right there. The first contact was Chris Paul.
That was a nice left.
Second contact was Rondo.
Without question. And then Paul's going to wind up right there.
And on the other side there is
Ingram totally missed.
Front row view.
Brandon came in. Brandon was
totally missed. At least he ready though.
Yeah, Brandon is.
Yeah.
At least he ready.
You get suspended. Let's leave the fighting to the fight in the first row.
Look, Melo and Ingram right there. Melo always, we gotta watch Melo this whole time. He's always hovering around Ingram. Like, bro, get your ass over there. Now let me tell you the difference of this year. I don't know if motherfucking Ingram would have did this last year because he had Brook Lopez, no offense, Julius Randle, a couple other cats over there. I don't know if they would have quite had his back like these cats are, but look at over here. You got Beasley in Ingram's ear the whole time, coaching him, talking him up like, all right, youngin, you good, don't worry about it, it happens, you know. And then you got Lance right here. Lance was hovering around Ingram the whole time too. So you got, you know, you got some good support there from vets, and then you got your boy Kuz right there. So he good. He's straight. I just wanted to show y'all, look, he got some goons with him this year. I don't know if he would have did this last year with Lopez on the bench, you know, or whoever else. So this is another reason we got these guys, because they're gritty, you know. This is a real thing, you know. And this is showing that everybody, like, look, you ain't just coming to LA or we coming to y'all house. Ain't none of this punking shit going on. You know, we got some young cats, but we also got vets that'll get in that ass too. So I'm liking this Laker team so far. And probably at the end of this month we'll have probably a 500 record. But it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be a slow start, but we're gonna get better. But let's continue to the end of this one. I think that's it, though. I think I made my points everywhere. It was a little bit of everybody's fault. It was just a domino effect, you know. Suspensions. I don't see anybody getting suspended more than 10 games. Ingram probably the most because he initiated with the shove, kind of like the Ben Wallace shove at the Palace. The shove wasn't so bad, but it did start everything. So you got to get him for that, and then he came in and threw a punch. So he'd probably get the most. And
getting the call. That's if you're going to get
Paul and Rondo, they'll probably get the same.
Giving the call his way.
And Lance stepped in at just the right time.
Unless they could find some evidence of him spitting in his face.
But
I didn't see it at all.
So we saw it last year when he went up.
But you see even right there, Paul, like, you don't hear what he's saying, but he basically, you know, trying to little nigga him. So that just was going. That was bound to happen. Either one of them wasn't gonna back down, and they don't like each other anyway. And they point guards. Point guards always go at it like that.
Yeah, that's. Boy, they're going to have a time.
Ingram running in like that, you should have connected, man.
How many players are going to get suspended? There's going to be a minimum of 3. There's going to be.
I can't wait till they play again.
Subscribe, bastards.